Hey guys, DC Network here, coming at you with another video. Towards the end of May, I was watching Cartoon Network when I saw a new bumper appear on the channel. It was a little advertisement saying, all summer long, Cartoon Network Super Summer is going on, and it immediately caught my attention because I was like, what is this? Cartoon Network is doing something to celebrate the summer? This is very unusual. This is something that we haven't seen since the mid-2000s. If you guys recall, back then in 2005 and 2006, Cartoon Network had Cartoon Network Summer, which essentially was a summertime celebration that saw the premiere of 3 new series in Camp Lazlo, The Life and Times of Juniper Lee, and Squirrel Boy, as well as the premiere of Codename Kids Next Door Operation Zero, the Cartoon Network original movie. I remember back in the day watching this block, how it was always so cool seeing all of these Cartoon Network characters interact with each other on a beach in the summer, and I remember at one point I believe they had a fall version of this as well. So when I saw Cartoon Network Super Summer happening all summer long advertised on the channel, it instantly gave me flashbacks to this, and I was like, wow, it's really cool to see that Cartoon Network is trying to make the summer feel like a special time, because as a kid growing up, I remember every summer had kind of this like magical feel to it, right? Think back to when you were a kid and the vibes that summertime brought. School was out. You could just hang out all day with your friends. You could watch your favorite shows. I remember back in the day watching a lot of Teen Nick in the summer when they used to air Drake and Josh on it, Victorious, True Jackson, VP. I remember going to swim practice a lot in the summertime. I used to watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire right before going to swim practice in the summer. I used to hang out with friends every single day. My mornings would be filled with playing video games, watching cartoons, going to the park, playing in the backyard with friends. Every summer was such an enjoyable time for me growing up as a kid, and I felt like this is kind of Cartoon Network capitalizing on that and trying to make this summer feel a bit more special, just like they did when we were kids back in 2005 and 2006. So overall, inherently, I think this is a fantastic idea. However, we are now in July, and I was planning on covering this a month ago, but so much has been going on within the realm of Warner Brothers Discovery and Cartoon Network that we're covering it here now, but a month has passed since this block has started on June 1st, and something that I've noticed is I really haven't seen Cartoon Network Super Summer on the channel. Like, the big thing that stood out to me, and of course, as you guys know, knowing me, I'm a huge Ben 10 fan, the big thing that stood out to me is, oh wow, a part of this Super Summer is the original Ben 10. This show has not been on the channel in quite some time. It's going to be returning this summer, all summer long. As the weeks have passed and the month has passed and we're now into July, right, I realized, you know, Cartoon Network Super Summer is happening all summer long, but I've yet to see it on the channel. I've yet to see this Super Summer celebration. You know, I would have expected every single day we'll have a block of superhero shows, whether it be the original Ben 10, whether it be Teen Titans Go, whether it be, you know, the Powerpuff Girls or something of the sort, some original Cartoon Network series that have a superhero theme to it. Hey, maybe even the original Teen Titans joins the fray. But I'm like, I haven't really seen this Super Summer happen. What exactly happened to it? Well, I looked into it, and apparently, unknown to me, Cartoon Network Super Summer, which is supposedly happening all summer long, is only a Sunday afternoon block. Apparently, it started on June 1st at 1 to 3:30 p.m. on Cartoon Network, and the block so far has consisted of episodes of Teen Titans Go, the Powerpuff Girls, Adventure Time, Ben 10, Steven Universe, and Yanu, which I want to go through the schedule of the block in a little bit, just a few samples of it. But first and foremost, just inherently speaking, the fact that Super Summer is a Sunday exclusive block is just head scratching and absolutely mind boggling to me. As I was saying before, Cartoon Network Super Summer is a fantastic idea. It's a throwback to Cartoon Network Summer back in 2005 and 2006. It really adds to that magical feeling that summer has always had as a kid growing up and really makes it something special, right? We're celebrating you're on summer vacation. We're going to give you a special block for this summer. All summer long, you could see some of your favorite superhero shows on Cartoon Network, some of which are from before you were born. You know, the original Powerpuff Girls was from 1998. Ben 10 was from 2005. These are shows that you didn't grow up with, but the prior generation of kids did grow up with, and these are fantastic classic series in their own right. But the fact that it's exclusively on Sundays doesn't make sense to me for a couple of reasons. You might be saying to yourself, DC Network, what does it matter that it's only a Sunday block? It still is a block they're doing to celebrate the summer, and here's where my problem is with that. Thinking back to when I was a kid, right? When I was growing up, every summer vacation, I would always be home Monday through Friday for the most part, right? I would go hang out with friends, they would come to my house, I would go to their house, sometimes I go to the park, sometimes I'd, go do things here and there around the town that I lived in. Typically, during the weekend every summer is when I would do stuff, right? I would go out more over the weekend because my mom isn't working, right? We can go to different places, we can go take a weekend trip, we could go to the pool nearby, which I would do as a kid growing up. Like every Saturday and Sunday, my mom used to take me to the pool and I would hang out with friends at the pool and she would hang out with all her friends, the parents of those kids and whatnot. And it was a great time, right? Typically, me as a kid growing up, I was not home on Saturdays and Sundays. I generally was always out doing something. So the fact that Cartoon Network Super Summer is a Sunday afternoon block just doesn't make sense to me because typically that's when kids are out doing stuff with their parents during the summer. Kids are home Monday through Friday because their parents are working in most cases, right? They're doing stuff with their friends. They're home though during the day. Maybe you're at a summer camp too. Who knows? That was never really my sort of thing when I was a kid growing up. But typically you're home Monday through Friday, right? You're looking for stuff to do. You're watching TV. You're watching your favorite shows on Cartoon Network. Maybe you're watching Nickelodeon or Teen Nick like I did growing up, or maybe the Disney Channel. They've been airing a lot of Phineas and Ferb lately, given that Phineas and Ferb came back for a 5th season earlier this summer, and it's just the perfect summertime series, right? It would make more sense for this block to be Monday through Friday or Monday through Sunday. Have it be 7 days a week. There's no reason this should be exclusive to Sunday. And if you want to make it exclusive to one day of the week for whatever reason, Sunday is the worst possible day to be doing because, again, typically kids are out doing stuff with their families over the weekend because, hey, the parents are off from work. We can do stuff with you. We can go to the park. We can go to a baseball game. We can, go to a pool. We can take a weekend getaway trip. During the week would make more sense for this block than only on Sundays. It's just a rather strange thing to be seeing here from Cartoon Network. And the last thing I wanted to touch on is the shows that have been included in the block thus far. So on June 1st, which was the premiere of this block, it was just a marathon from 1 to 3 p.m. of Ianu, and they did the same thing the following week, being June 8th. Then on June 15th and 22nd, they had marathons from 1 to 3 p.m. and 1 to 3:30 p.m. respectively of Ben 10, but then the 3:30 p.m. episode was Ianu for some reason. Then on June 29th, it was a marathon of the original Powerpuff Girls from 1 to 3:15 p.m. Then at 3:30, Ianu came on once again. July 4th, they decided to have a special 4th of July Teen Titans Go marathon from 8:32 a.m. all the way to 4:30 p.m., which, yay, more Teen Titans Go. July 6th, which is the day I'm recording this, is going to be 1 p.m. to 3:15 p.m. the Powerpuff Girls, followed by Ianu. July 13th, you have 1 p.m. to 2:45 p.m. Steven Universe, followed by 3 p.m. to 3:15 Teen Titans Go, then 3:30 Ianu. And the following week, July 20th, is the same schedule as July 13th with Steven Universe, Teen Titans Go, followed by Ianu. It just doesn't really make sense to me why they're doing it this way. I mean, I get nowadays that, scheduling is a lot more lazily done, right? There's not as many people being put into the schedule. There's not as much creativity being used as there was back in the day. But having Ben 10 air 2 weekends back to back, having the Powerpuff Girls air 2 weekends back to back, and then just not airing at all for the rest of this block, seemingly, unless if it comes back towards the end of July or maybe sometime in August, just again does not make sense to me. It would make much more sense and add a lot more variety to the channel if, hey, the first hour of this block is the original Ben 10. The second hour of this block is Steven Universe. The third hour is the Powerpuff Girls from 1998. The fourth hour is Ianu, and the fifth hour is Teen Titans Go, or maybe they have some semblance of that and they rotate it, like the first month you have Ben 10, Powerpuff Girls, Ianu, and Teen Titans Go, then the second month you have another set of shows take up this block. It just does not really make sense to me that you're marathoning these shows like this, because again, it's less variety for this block. It's less variety for the Super Summer when you could have this be really something special and something that would be memorable for kids, because right now it kind of just seems like it's just, hey, we're just airing a marathon of Ben 10 for 2 weeks. We're airing a marathon of Steven Universe for 2 weeks. It's not really anything too special. We're just airing these shows as a marathon, right? It would be much more special to me if they had this be a block number 1 that was Monday through Friday or Monday through Sunday, have it be 5 days a week or 7 days a week, and have it be that there's actually different shows on the channel every day during this block. Don't have it be that this entire block is a marathon of the same show for 2 weeks. That becomes repetitive and there's not as much variety on the channel. Then if you are away for for a weekend and you miss Ben 10, right? You only have one other opportunity to see Ben 10 on the channel, because after that, we're moving to Steven Universe. After that, we're moving to the Powerpuff Girls. After that, we're moving to Teen Titans Go or Ianu. You only have a very small window to see these classic shows on the channel, because we're only doing it for 2 weekends. We're only doing it for 2 Sundays, as opposed to having, the first hour of every Super Summer for the month of June be Ben 10. The second hour is the Powerpuff Girls. The third hour is Ianu. The fourth hour is Teen Titans Go. That's a much better way, in my opinion, to do this block, as opposed to just, hey, we're going to air the same show for 2 weeks and that's it. You're never going to see it again after that. It just seems like a very lazy way to put this together, and it's less interesting and it's less variety on the channel. So overall, I think that Cartoon Network Super Summer is a great idea inherently, and like a lot of things that Cartoon Network has done, like with Checkered Past, like with Toonami Rewind, great ideas inherently, but then in the execution of them, they've kind of faltered and failed, because in the case of Checkered Past, right, they just kept airing the same episodes of the same shows. Toonami Rewind obviously didn't even last a full 5 months. What did it last, 3-4 months before it was off the air? Then Cartoon Network Super Summer, again, a great idea inherently, but it's only on Sundays, and you're airing the same exact shows for 2 consecutive weekends before moving on to another show. Again, having this be a Monday through Friday or Monday through Sunday block, airing different shows every hour, swapping out shows here and there, would be a much better way to handle this block, as opposed to just, hey, for 2 weekends we're giving you Ben 10 and then you're never gonna see it again. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about Cartoon Network Super Summer. Do you guys agree with me that this is a great idea, but Cartoon Network kind of fails with the execution of this block? Or do you disagree and you like the way that Cartoon Network is handling this? If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from DC Network. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.